Shaun Clarida.
Yeah.
Where do you have him in this whole mix?
Because of, my confidence in myself here, I have him number 2.
Okay, you do.
I do. I think people look. He's a threat. Shaun Clarida is very dangerous.
It's showtime.
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story I want to talk about today, the recent update from Nick Walker at a little bit over 6 weeks out from the 2023 Arnold Classic, I feel like is more impressive than his update from the same time frame prior to the Olympia. So this update, a very comprehensive one from Nick at right around 6.5 weeks out from the Arnold Classic. You get a most muscular, well, 2 most musculars, an abs and thighs, a side tricep, a side chest, a front double bicep, a front relaxed. So you get a pretty comprehensive look at Nick Walker's physique at this point in his prep. And you can see, even in the comments there, Kamal who is also competing in the open division at the Arnold Classic, says it's the 2-time Arnold Classic champ. So he's competing against Nick, and even he is commenting here, saying Nick is going to win the show again. Obviously, Nick won in 2021, being his first Arnold Classic victory. So the main shot that I wanted to compare here is this update from November 1st of last year, which was about 6.5 weeks out from the Olympia. He had a front double bicep and a most muscular in that shot. First, I wanted to compare the front double bicep. Now, I think the shot on November 1st was technically a little bit closer to the Olympia than this shot from the Arnold is to the Arnold. But if you put them side by side, the main thing that I noticed was that his waist looks more impressive on the right-hand side. In this prep photo for the Arnold, his waist looks a lot tighter to me. He looks a lot more streamlined. And maybe that's a result of dieting for a longer period of time, because now you had 6.5 weeks of dieting after that initial shot, which is on the right-hand side. From that picture to the Olympia, from the Olympia to now, about 5 more weeks. So about 11 weeks of dieting between these two pictures, and then he's got 6 more weeks to go to the Arnold. Maybe his midsection is just tighter. Maybe it's just flatter from the extended length of dieting. And the other shot, again, if you put the most muscular side by side, the midsection stands out to me. It looks a lot tighter in the prep photos for this Arnold Classic. And again, these are the same point in his prep. He's the same distance out from the Olympia in those photos as he is from the Arnold Classic in these photos that he posted today. And the midsection is the thing that really jumps out to me as being a lot tighter in these Arnold Classic prep photos. Granted, he looks a lot fuller and a lot rounder in the Olympia prep photos, so maybe he had just had a meal, maybe he had just had a very high carb day, and maybe he's a lot flatter in these updates for the Arnold, and that's why his midsection's so tight. But to me, it looks like it's much more streamlined, much more tight. Whatever the reason might be, I think that's going to work in his favor going into the Arnold Classic. Now, also on that left leg there, you can see a red mark, and you can see the difference in the veins in those legs from the Olympia prep picture to this picture. So I wonder if he had those veins lasered off, because you can see a mark there, and those veins that were there before appear to be gone, which I don't really know how much the judges cared, if at all, about those veins on his legs. I think it's more of a health thing than it was an aesthetic thing, so them getting removed was probably more for him than it was the competition, but maybe that will overall be a better look for him at the Arnold, because if you guys remember when he competed at the Arnold in 2021, even Arnold Schwarzenegger himself made a comment about the veins on his calves when Arnold was doing the commentary that year, so maybe he got this lasered off specifically for the Arnold. Now, I do also want to point out that on Nick Walker's podcast recently, the one with Guy Sister, and I believe it's called The Mutant in the Mouth, he actually predicted that Shaun Clarida is going to be runner-up at this show. He says, because of my confidence in myself, I have him in number 2. He's a threat. Shaun Clarida is very dangerous. He might be small, but he's like the perfect bodybuilder. If he's peaked correctly and someone falls short, he's jumping up. Considering both me and him have the same coach, Matt Jansen, we're going to be peaked to the fullest. Yeah, first will be me, and second will be Shaun Clarida. People really underestimate Clarida. A lot of talks he's not included in for the first or third spot. Seeing him up close in person, it's just different. Now, we also got this recent update from Shaun Clarida. I can assume it's from the Arnold Classic prep this year. And again, I think we have to ask ourselves, are we counting out Shaun Clarida? I even saw Jay Cutler on his Cutler cast say he thinks Shaun Clarida has a shot at winning. Matt Jansen, his coach, posted a story saying everybody counting out Shaun Clarida is just feeding the fire, and he's going to do even better, work even harder because of it. Shaun Clarida is your current 212 Olympia champion. He has won an open bodybuilding show before. The Legion Sports Festival, I believe it was last year, or maybe the year before. He was qualified for the Open Olympia. He competes in the high 170s, low 180s. I don't think he's ever competed over 200 pounds, but he still beats a lot of guys much bigger than him. His motto right now seems to be bigger is not better. His nickname is the Giant Killer. So the question is, against an on Nick Walker, can he win? Against an on Andrew Jacked, or Samson Dauda, or William Bonac, can he win against these top-tier open guys? He was able to beat Regan Grimes at that Legion Sports Festival and Sergio Oliva Jr., who we haven't seen compete in a while. But can he beat these current top Olympians if they don't slip? I think the main case for a high placing for Shaun Clarida is his consistent conditioning. His conditioning is phenomenal. There's no doubt about it. And some of these guys coming in off. Shaun Clarida's conditioning, I think, is what catches these guys. But if they're on, if Nick is on, if Samson is on, if Andrew Jacked is on, does Shaun still beat them on the merit of conditioning? That is the question. Because we know he's not going to beat them on size. Now, I do legitimately think that Shaun could be top 3 here and probably will be top 3. And I'm hearing now that Derek is not doing the show. I'm hearing he's pretty much officially out, even though he hasn't issued a statement. But I'm also hearing there will be more names added to this list. Big names added to this list. Names that will still shake up this lineup, even with the quality of names that we have in here so far. So, if you want to make sure not to miss the Arnold Classic, make sure you buy the pre-sale pay-per-view. Link in the description box below. Use code NSP10 for 10% off. It's $49.99 right now with pre-sale. With the extra 10%, you can get it for $45. It'll be $60 the day of the show. Now, let's switch gears for a little bit here, and then we're going to get back to the Arnold Classic. Let's talk about the Olympia here. So the new Olympia dates for 2023 have been revealed, and the Olympia is now moved out of December, earlier in the year, closer to where it used to be. It used to be September every single year, like mid to late September. Now it is November 3rd through the 5th, so the first weekend of November, a substantial move earlier to give an even greater breadth between the Arnold Classic and the Olympia, which I think was part of the issue this year with a lackluster lineup. Initially, I think a lot of people wanted a longer break between shows, and a lot of people from the Olympia just didn't want to do the Arnold, but now you've got an additional month and a half pretty much. So, number one, I think this is a really good move. I think hosting the Olympia when they hosted it this year, the week before Christmas, was just a bad time to host it. Number one, it was too close to the Arnold Classic. Number two, I think it was too close to the holidays. A lot of people already traveling to visit friends and family for Christmas. And number three, I think a lot of people came home sick, and a lot of people missed Christmas because they didn't want to bring home COVID or whatever else they caught while at the Olympia, at the expo, around a bunch of people, to their family a week later for their holiday gathering. So I think the move to early November was a really good move. It's not close to Thanksgiving. It's not close to Christmas. It's kind of on its own. Now, the other thing that they recently announced, though, was that it was going to be moving back to Orlando, Florida. So it's out of Vegas, which I don't really understand why they keep moving it back and forth. This year, when they moved it back to Vegas, everybody was really excited. There's a lot of gyms there. A lot of bodybuilders live in Vegas. A lot of people are saying Vegas is the new mecca of bodybuilding. It seems like it was really exciting to have the Olympia back in Vegas, and now it's back to Florida. So I've got to be honest, while I like the date change, I don't really like the location change, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think about the Olympia location. Do you think it's better in Vegas, better in Florida, or do you think there would be a better location than either of those two places, possibly not in the United States? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also let me know what you guys think about the date change of the Olympia. Do you like it being further away from the Arnold, further away from the holidays, and kind of more of a fall thing like it used to be when it was in September? Now, next up in the news, back to the Arnold Classic for a second. Andrew Jacked has 2 new coaches. It sounds like he has officially ditched George Farah, and on the training side, he's now working with Chris Psycho Lewis, who trained Sean Roden. And on the diet side, on the guru side, he's now working with Chris Aceto. So now he has the same team that prepped Shaun Rhoden when Shaun Rhoden won the Olympia back in 2018. So I think that's an interesting decision, number one, because of the fact that there's a lot of striking similarities between Andrew Jacked and Shaun Rhoden. I think the small waist and the aesthetic look of their physique is the big thing. And now that he has the same team as Shaun, could this be the dream team for Andrew Jacked? Shaun was a little taller, a little more aesthetic, a little more elegant when it came to his posing and presentation, known for his small midsection, deep separated abs with that small midsection, kind of the same thing here with Andrew Jacked. And I'm very curious to see what they're able to put together over the next 6.5 weeks, well, pretty much 6 weeks now, between now and the Arnold Classic, working with these new coaches. Now, what do you guys think about this change of coaches for Andrew Jacked? Will it be good? Will it be bad? Will it be a net neutral? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, a couple more Arnold Classic stories here. A physique update from Kamal El-Gargni, one of the former 212 Olympia champs that's competing in the Open Arnold Classic. He says he's done with 212, moving on to Open. This will be his second foray into Open bodybuilding, the last time being when he took second to Akeem Williams. I believe it was at the Puerto Rico Pro last year. Kamal also known for his conditioning. So again, we've got this conversation of Shaun, Clarida, Kamal El-Gargni, even though they're the smaller guys in the lineup. Will they be able to catch some of these Open guys that slip on conditioning? I think the answer is yes. But again, I do think it was interesting in the beginning of this video where we had Kamal saying that he thought Nick Walker was going to win the show, the same show he's competing in. And again, I'm hearing Derek is out. Now, the final story that I've got for you guys today in Arnold Classic news, a physique update from Justin Rodriguez, a real lat spread here. You don't see really a whole lot of separation in the glutes and the hamstrings. And honestly, I think it's interesting because like we did with Nick Walker, if you compare Justin to his Olympia prep, this same time during the Olympia, for his prep for the Olympia, he was nonstop posting updates, sometimes multiple times a day, pretty much every day of that prep. This Arnold prep, he's posted almost nothing except this physique update, which to me doesn't suggest that he's very confident in the package that he's bringing. And I honestly think that Justin's physique looks tired. I think he really needs an extended break from competing to kind of go back to the drawing board and refocus and give his body the rest that it needs so he's not so burnt out when he finally does get on a bigger stage like the Arnold Classic or the Olympia. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about all these stories. That's going to wrap it up for the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like, a thumbs up. If you did enjoy it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so you don't miss an upload and you don't miss any of the breaking bodybuilding news, whether that be in short form or long form. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.